Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, students. This is your teacher Hakim Sakran speaking. And I hope that you are well and fine this morning. And I hope that your young minds is as hungry and eager as ever. Before we begin today's lesson, let's revise yesterday's lesson, which was, of course, about used to doing and not used to doing, which means used to, then a verb with ing, then not used to, then a verb with ing. As you remember yesterday, these two people, this one is used to talking. There's a verb here, talking in public. And this is used to and talking, the verb with the ing. And here is not used to with the verb with the ing. So can you give me an example or examples that you're some things or things that you're used to and not used to? Give me one or two. Yes, that's correct. And now I'll give you 4 examples that I wrote, and they're about myself. The first one is I'm used to running long distances. I'm used to running long distances. I don't get tired. If you exercise every day, you don't get tired. I'm not used to drinking soft drinks. I'm not used to drinking soft drinks. Can you get an example of not used to? Something that you're not used to doing, something that you're not used to doing, eating, drinking, something that you're not used to experiencing it. Give me an example. Yes, that's correct. Continuing our examples, I'm used to driving my car. Of course, if you have a car, you're always used to driving your car, whether it's big or small. You're used to driving your own car. Here it says, I'm not used to driving big cars. If you have a small car, you're not used to driving big cars because the distances will be different. So moving on to today's lesson, which is pronunciation. Before we indulge in this lesson, I want to tell you something. That it's extremely important to know how to pronounce letters and produce sounds correctly. If you, in any language, not just English, it's important how to pronounce the sounds and how to read the letters correctly, how to say the words correctly, use the vowels and consonants. Of course, the sounds are 2 types of sounds, whether they're consonants or vowels. What are the consonants and the vowels? Let's see. The vowels are the letters of the alphabet A, E, I, O, U. Again, the vowels are the letters of the alphabet A, E, I, O, U. Of course, you know, I think that you know them or that you remember them as the shape of the face. I think the smiley face, which bring all of these letters together, A, E, I, O, U, the vowel letters. And the consonants are the rest of the alphabet letters. The consonants, the vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and the consonants are the rest of the letters. That's just a reminder to you to know what are the sounds of the English language called. Of course, the vowels and the consonants. Here is, this is today's lesson. Let's hear.
Page 10. 6. Pronunciation. A. Listen to the following vowel sounds. They are sometimes called short vowels. Then practice.
Send, get, letters.
Happy, spam, congratulations.
Wish, city, interested.
So, now I read them again. Listen to the following vowel sounds. So these are vowel sounds because this is E, A, I. So they are vowel sounds. They are sometimes called short vowels, as you heard. Then practice. The first one have the short E, like send, get, letters, send, This sound, I don't want the whole word and not the letter E, the sound of it in the middle of the word. Send. Send, get, and letters. The second one is the sound. Happy, spam, congratulations. The sound. It's very important to focus on sounds, especially the vowel sounds. Again, happy, spam, congratulations. And the third one is the E sound, which looks like an I. You can say wish, wish. If you just take the part with the sound E, wish. And city, city. Just take the sound E, city. And in the beginning of the word, interested, E, interested. So let's listen again. Let's listen again.
Page 10. 6. Pronunciation. A. Listen to the following vowel sounds. They are sometimes called short vowels. Then practice.
Send, get, letters.
Happy, spam, congratulations.
Wish, city, interested.
So I think now that it's pretty clear for you that the vowel sounds and E in wish. So now I want you to give me 3 examples of each, and I will give you examples also. First of all, give me of the sound, like get, Give me an example of this sound, whether it's in the beginning of the word, in the middle of the word, it doesn't matter. All what matters is the sound itself. So give me an example. I will give you 3, of course. Can you give me 3? If you can give me 3, that will be amazing. So just give me one. Okay, good. So the first one I'm going to give you is spend. Spend. You know, like spending money or spending time. Spend. The E here is e. Another example is end. This is an example of the beginning of the word. End. End. Spend. Another example is tent. Tent. The vowel, the short vowel E, a, which is pronounced a. It's like tent, end, and spend. The next one is a, like before happy or congratulations. Can you give me an example of the vowel a? Yes, that's correct. The first one I gave you is hat. Hat. A. Hat. The second one is and. Hat. And. Hat. And. The third one is bad. So hat and bad. Pay attention to the short vowel. Okay, the next one is E. The short vowel E. Can you give me an example of this one? Okay, so I'll give you one. I'll give you 3 actually. The first one is in. In. It's like interested before, but this one just in, the preposition in. Lit. Lit. So in the beginning of the word and lit in the middle of the word. And pit. Pit. So it's the same in, lit, and pit. So these are some of the short, of course, that's not all the short vowels. These are some of the short vowels of the English language. Here we have an exercise.
B. Read the emails again and underline only the words that have short eh, ah, and I. Practice reading the sentences aloud without stressing the short eh, ah, and I in the words you underlined.
Listen to the instructions again. Let's listen again.
B. Read the emails again and underline only the words that have short eh, ah, and I. Practice reading the sentences aloud without stressing the short eh, ah, and I in the words you underlined.
So we have to read the emails in the previous lesson. We'll just read one email here and try to figure out the short vowels that we just learned. If you remember yesterday, this is an email to Olivia from Melanie. But before we read it, of course, we have to listen to Melanie's email that she sent it to Olivia. Let's listen now and pay attention to the short vowels. Pay attention to the short vowels that you hear. Okay, let's listen.
To Olivia at megagoal.com. Subject: Visit you in Paris, November 15th. Hi, Olivia. How's work and how's Paris? Hope you're getting used to your new way of life and taking advantage of living in such a wonderful city. Guess what? I'm coming to France on vacation at the end of the month, and I'll be staying in Paris for a few days. I was wondering if you could put me up. However, I don't want to inconvenience you in any way. I'm used to sleeping anywhere. Let me know if it's all right if I stay with you. What's the weather like now? Last time I was in Paris, it was so rainy that I was soaked most of the time, in spite of my raincoat and umbrella. I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. Your best friend, Melanie.
Okay, let's listen again and pay attention. Let's listen again.
To Olivia at megagoal.com. Subject: Visit you in Paris, November 15th. Hi, Olivia. How's work and how's Paris? Hope you're getting used to your new way of life and taking advantage of living in such a wonderful city. Guess what? I'm coming to France on vacation at the end of the month, and I'll be staying in Paris for a few days. I was wondering if you could put me up. However, I don't want to inconvenience you in any way. I'm used to sleeping anywhere. Let me know if it's all right if I stay with you. What's the weather like now? Last time I was in Paris, it was so rainy that I was soaked most of the time, in spite of my raincoat and umbrella. I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. Your best friend, Melanie.
Okay, now that we heard the email, let's try to figure out some, not all of course, some of the short vowel sounds that we've just learned. Let's figure them out together. From the beginning here, to. Is there something here? Olivia at megagoal.com. Is there anything here? Yes, the first one is this I, Olivia, E, Olivia, the short E, like the one I said pit or hit, Olivia. And the second one is this E, megagoal. Yes, that's correct. And the second one, or the third one, yes, we have actually two here. The word visit and Paris and also in. So all of them are the E sound. Visit, visit. In, Paris, Paris. Paris actually has two sounds, the A and the E. Okay, let's go to the email itself from the beginning here. Is there anything in the word November? November. Yes, the E sound, the E. And here we took also Olivia. And here's also Paris. And yes, that's correct. The word getting, from the word get, getting. Yes, that's correct. And also here, advantage. Advantage. Yes, that's correct. Okay, I'll leave the rest. I think that you get the idea now. I'll leave the rest of it to you. Let's move on to the next exercise. About you. This exercise that you have to do with your friend is next to you. In pairs, ask the question and have your friend answer. So you have to have your friend sitting next to you and you ask him a question and then he'll answer and then ask you back. The first one, are people in your country used to? Used to. Again, are people in your country used to sending emails, letters, or cards on special occasions? Are people in your country used to sending email, letters, or cards on special occasions? So whenever you have a special occasion, do you send an email, a letter, a card to your friend? Okay, you tell me, and I'll tell you what do we do. Okay, in my country, we can use, if you want to communicate, I think the WhatsApp, it's the most common way of communication now. But if it has to be formal, of course, it will be an email. An email is the formal way to invite someone on a special occasion. The next question. When did you last apologize for doing something wrong? And what did you do? So, when was the last time that you apologized for something? And what did you do? Don't be embarrassed. Of course, we all make mistakes. Okay, thank you for telling me. Maybe I think the last time I apologized for someone was my friend we planned to meet in a cafe and I was late, I think 15 minutes late. So when I came, I apologized to him for being late. The third question, are you the kind of person who forgives easily? Explain. So, are you the kind of person that forgives easily? Yes? No? Explain. Okay. Me, for example, yes, of course, if he's a close friend and it wasn't that big of a mistake, of course I will forgive him because he's my friend and friends are priceless. Number 4. When are or where? When were you absent from school? Did your parents write notes to your teachers explaining your absence? So, if you're absent from school, do your parents write letters, write some piece of paper with you the next day to the teachers explaining why were you absent? Of course, for me, in the past, some of the times, I wasn't absent that much, of course, but sometimes when I was absent, yes, they would give me what happened in a piece of paper and I will give it to my teacher. So, what about you? Okay, good. The 5th question, are you used to doing favors or asking other people of favors? Explain. Of course, are you used to? Do you do it often? To ask people for favors, ask them to help you? Yes or no? Okay. Of course, we all ask people for help, our family, our friends, but I'm not that used to it. You have to depend on yourself for doing things. If you can't do it without them, then it's okay. And the last question is, do you put people up when they travel? Do you ask others to put you up when you travel? Of course, the put up, it means that you sleep in their house. So when people come to your city, of course, people you know, your cousins, your family, your friends, do you put them up? Do you let them sleep in your house? For me, of course, we do. We insist on them, of course, unless they're extremely embarrassed by it and they think that, of course, it's not inconvenient for us. We're family. But yes, I do it. So what about you? Okay, thank you. You're really generous. Okay, then thank you for listening. That's the end of our lesson, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.